I played Lieutenant Malcolm Reed on Enterprise, as you probably know, and you are listening to the NX 7062 podcast. Enjoy.
Well, hello, and welcome to transmissions from the NX 7062. So glad to have you all here on Cyber Monday. I did not do any shopping on Cyber Monday. I did do a little shopping over the weekend, but nothing Cyber Monday related. Although, I don't know. Yeah, Cyber Monday seemed to, like everything else, I think it feels like it got extended beyond the day. So there was some Cyber Monday stuff going on over the weekend. Hi, Chris. Let's get the hellos out of the way. Chris and Nancy and Dave and Robert and Casbah, who was nice enough to help me out with a little test. And my magic lasso. Hello, lasso. Thank you all for being here. Dave got me a little excited when he was talking about, when he's like, go blue, go Lions. We're going to talk sports. Believe it or not, there are some nerds out there that like sports, like me, my alumni, my Penn State. We are going to be competing for the national championship next Saturday. And I guess we owe a little bit of a thank you to one of Dave's teams, Michigan beating Ohio, us trouncing Maryland is what got us into this championship berth for next weekend. I am really excited. It's been a while since the Lions brought home a championship, so I am really excited for them. And I do love my Penn State. I'm a legacy. My dad was not only was my dad a Penn State grad, he was actually in the Blue Band and went to their very first bowl game back in 1969, playing the tuba. Sorry, Trip. So Penn State is very near and dear to my heart, not just because I graduated. So I had to share that with everybody. And before I forget, this is the next to the last show for the year. Trip just doesn't give up, my little engineer over here. This is my next to last show for the year. I am going to be taking the holidays off. I mean, with my show, with the Mondays of the 23rd and the 30th, you guys are all going to be out celebrating and or getting ready for the holidays. So am I. So figure take a couple weeks off. So let's see what else we got going on. Speaking of holidays, anybody that was going to be purchasing Anthony Montgomery's book in time for the holidays may be a tiny bit disappointed. Anthony just posted, in case you didn't notice, the book was supposed to be released yesterday. They're still finalizing some things, so the release date has once again been pushed back. Obviously, as soon as it's announced, that's when all the pre-orders are going to start going out. So him pushing back the date also means I get pushed back because he's going to be making the rounds once the book is out. So everybody cross your fingers. It'll be soon. Can't promise y'all going to have it for that Enterprise fan in time for the holidays. Let's see. What else do we got going on? By the way, I thought about watching Lower Decks, but it's not over yet. I was going to binge it over the holiday weekend, but it's not over yet. But I am still doing pretty good about avoiding spoilers, so I can't wait to just sit down and binge Lower Decks. Really excited about that. Maybe finally finish Prodigy. I've been terrible about keeping up with my Trek, my current Trek. So I've got plans for the holidays. See, I'm not going to be here for 2 weeks. Maybe Monday nights will be a good time to binge watch when I'm not here. The other thing coming up, JG, the one and only JG Hertzler, Chancellor Martok, is going to be in Langhorne, Pennsylvania, one day and one day only. Hello! No oxtails on Sunday. Did I eat any celery today? No, I did not eat any celery today. Sorry, but I do love a good celery. I love celery and peanut butter. It was due out August 1st. It was due out on my birthday. To answer Dave's question, Anthony's original publishing date, release date was August 1st. It was due out on my birthday. When I saw him in Vegas, I think I'd already known it was getting pushed back, and it was supposed to be yesterday, and now it gets pushed back again, and that is all I know. So all I know is once it's out, I'm going to be blowing up his DMs on Insta, trying to get him to come on the show, because he said he was going to be coming on once it's yeah, I know. I can't wait. Oh, look, Lasso. Dave caught your fanboy show. Fanboy shows are really great. Lasso's fantastic on those. Okay, so back to JG. JG, Langhorne, Pennsylvania. It's called Pulp Adventure Con. Pulp Adventure Con. It's one day only. It's this Saturday, December 7th. And if you're going to be in the area, Langhorne, PA is famous for Sesame Place. It's not too far outside of Philly if you're close enough to make a day trip. JG is going to be there. It's Pulp. So it's actually, it's writers. It's a lot of, but JG's going to be there. And if you've never met JG, then definitely someplace to go. Fanboys was on Superman last night. Well, then I guess I'm just going to be watching Fanboys. I did not watch the Decon Chamber yet, and Bill Mooney was on it, and I love Bill. I've met Bill a couple times. I love Bill Mooney. I'm going to have to sit down and watch that. Pre-ordered. Oh, my God. Poor Dave, just waiting and waiting for that book. Okay, and the other thing want to recognize, Kevin Mitchell's birthday was just a few days ago. If you guys saw all the remembrances, Kevin's birthday was the 25th of November. I was seeing a lot. Doug Jones put up a beautiful remembrance. Of course, punkarmy.net. Pop culture, punkarmy.net. There is a Kevin Mitchell Be Kind shirt. The proceeds go to ALS. If there was ever a time to head over to bekindmerch.org and pick yourself up a Kevin Mitchell shirt, if you do not have one, it is now. Like I said, we just honored his birthday. He left us not even quite a year ago in February. Hey, Uncle Hairball. Thank you. For stopping by and for the replay. Always got to love the replay. That was the episode I got to watch get recorded with. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Bill, Chris wasn't allowed to talk about which episode he saw. Oh, that's awesome. I love Bill. Worked with him a little bit at my first convention, the one where I met Tony Todd. Bill was down the road from us. Got to hang out with him and his wife, both amazing. And then I got to see them really quickly at the Hollywood show because I was busy with John, but I got a chance to say hi and reacquaint myself. So I can't wait to see that episode. All right. So housekeeping done. Everybody knows this is the next to last show, and I am real before the holidays. So I don't know what I'm doing next week, but I know what we're doing right now. We're welcoming the one and only Derek Maki of Cool Water Productions. Hi, Derek.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for patiently waiting.
Of course, my pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
Welcome back. I'm always glad to have you keep me company on a Monday night. In your cash look, you got the cash look going on because anybody that has ever been to a creation event and has wandered anywhere near Doug Jones's table has seen this very sharp dressed man in his fantastic jackets.
I'm in my vacation mode.
Yes, it's been busy with creation doing those I'm calling them satellite conventions because I feel like Vegas is like the mothership. And so everything else is just like a satellite convention when it comes to Trek, when it comes to Star Trek. So,
yeah, well, they're trying to bring their product, their brand and stuff to more people, because everybody knows about the Vegas event and it's amazing, but they want to branch out. So, they're trying. They're good people. We like working with Creation. So
Creation's fantastic. Creation was the first event I went to back in the 80s when they were doing New York conventions at the Pennsylvania Hotel. So I am definitely dating myself. But I think somewhere buried in my collection of things is a Creation program with somebody's signature on it. So yeah, Creation were the first events, and they were the event that got me back into conventions back in 2016 when they were here in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and I went to the 50th anniversary event. That was New Jersey. They seem to really like, because one of the last satellite Star Trek events when they still had the license was 2017.
Right.
And then they tried it again with the Sci-Fi Summit when they were trying to, so there's something about the New York, New Jersey area that they always seem to like coming back to, which I have no problems with because I live here. So
it's easy for you.
Yeah, it is. It takes me just about an hour and a half to drive to Secaucus, and I love that convention center. I think that's I think it's a great space.
Well, we'll see what 2025 brings.
Well, what did you?
from them with invites and locking in dates for stuff. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, there's some mystery going around because some of the stuff they posted for next year has disappeared off their website. So yeah, hi Dubuque Bridge. Yeah. I want to say a South Carolina convention and a Florida convention disappeared off their site. But that could just be website stuff. That could be website maintenance. That could be, I don't know. But would you, I mean, you had a lot of your roster going to these satellite conventions. How did your guys do it? Everybody have fun, good time?
Yeah, everybody had a good time. And, I mean, more of them wanted to come out. It's unfortunately you can only have so many guests, at a single event. But I mean, they all would like to come out and meet everybody. So,
but I mean, Doug is always.
Hopefully next year some more can come out, than normal. We'll see.
Yeah, it was Charlotte, North Carolina. Thank you, Robert. Yeah, I knew it was a Carolina. I couldn't remember. It was Charlotte, North Carolina was the one that got pulled up. And of course, everybody has to go see Doug because Doug Jones is the highlight of everything.
Absolutely. Doug is amazing. You got to come get your free Doug hug.
Yes.
And next year, we're going to be having the Doug Hug t-shirts that we're going to sell that are going to be raising money for the Cancer Society. It's a picture of Doug hugging Camden Toy, and it says, "Did you get your Doug hug?"
That's amazing. Something else you guys should all be investing in.
So the proceeds of those t-shirts will go to the Cancer Society because we've had so many friends and family, including Camden, that lost their lives to their battle with cancer.
Of course.
So we did the shirt for the first time at Fanboy Expo last year, or was it this year? I can't remember. Well, anyway,
it all runs together.
No, it was this year. And then we're redesigning the shirt just a little bit to make it different than the Fanboy Expo one, but the photo itself is the same. And it was taken by a paparazzi photographer that we love, Al Ortega.
Oh, that's great.
He's really nice. He's given us permission to use the photo. And then Camden's family has given us permission to use the photo as well. And of course, Doug, is on it and wants to be part of it. So those will be out on the road with him next year.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, Doug is one of the warmest, most humble people that, I remember telling him one of the times that I met him, I said, no matter how much makeup he wears, he shines through every character. He could be under, the heaviest makeup, but when you hear the voice and the mannerisms, it's Doug Jones. And he was just like, no, really? And I'm like, yes, Doug, you shine through in everything. In absolutely everything.
He's amazing. That's why we're doing a documentary about him. So
that's right. You mentioned that the last time. How is that going?
Yeah. Well, we're filming. We've been filming. We got several interviews out of the way with Elias Tufexis, Jane Brooke, Leonard Maltin, Sonequa Martin Green, Mike Mignola, a couple of others. They're already done and in the bag. We update IMDb all the time. So if anybody wants to see, who's in the bag and who the next celebrity being announced as being interviewed, you can check IMDb. The film is called Get Me Doug Jones. And it's basically my love letter to Doug.
Aww.
Because I've watched this man go through a lot in his career since he's been with me for 17 years. And so I want to kind of give back, and I want to kind of politely slap Hollywood in the face and say, this man deserves accolades and stuff. I'm going to let my dog in the office. Hold on a second.
Oh, pets are always allowed.
Where is he? Oh, well, he's not there. I'll leave the door open a crack in case he wants to come in.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so we're going to... We've been filming already for 2 years. We started 2 years ago, and we did some filming at conventions and stuff. So there'll be some fans that'll appear in the film. And then this year we started with our official interviews.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 3 weeks, we've got another week of shooting with some other celebrities that we'll do on-camera interviews. So... And there's so many, like I told the director that I hired, I told him, hi, Lyndon. I told him we're going to have 3 versions of the film. We're going to have the theatrical version because our goal is to have it in theaters so everybody can see it. And then we're going to have the director's cut. That'll be like 4 hours. And then we're going to have the super duper pooper executive producer cut, which is going to be my cut. It's going to be like 6 hours, because we're going to have too many people, especially on the interview part, that are going to end up getting, cut out, because there's just not going to be enough time. And so far, everyone that we've asked to be part of the project has said yes, because it was for Doug. Celebrities get asked to do interviews all the time, and they usually, depending on if they're promoting something, they'll just be like, nah, they want to spend time with their families. And if they're not on set, they don't want to be, doing another interview. But so far, everyone we've asked to talk about Doug on camera has just been a gracious and enthusiastic yes, which I'm very grateful for, because it makes our job on that part easier. So
I can't even imagine what Sonequa had to say. Their relationship, Saru and Michael's relationship.
She made me cry, actually.
I was going to say, that doesn't surprise me, because I think, she is so eloquent and just amazing, and that relationship on camera was so beautiful that I can't.
She had some amazing things to say, and she had me in tears. And then when we were saying our goodbyes, I started crying again, and we were hugging each other. She was amazing. So,
oh wow! So my guess is that entire thing is going to make it into the movie, into the documentary.
No, because no.
Oh wow!
No, not everything. I guess we'll have some deleted scenes maybe, and we'll cherry pick some stuff. But it's again, we've got so many other great interviews that we're lining up that we want to give everybody their chance to make me cry. So
yeah, exactly. Are you going to be talking to? I mean, I talk to Doug about this all the time, because I am absolutely in love with What We Do in the Shadows. Are you talking to anybody from What We Do in the Shadows?
I mean, right now I can't, because
unless answer
listed on IMDb, I'm not allowed to say who we're going after, because number one, I don't want to jinx anything, and number two, until they are actually filmed.
Sure.
Because we have some people who have said yes, but if something happens where they just by some weird chance can't, maybe the date we pick gets screwed up or whatever.
Can you at least say that you would like to interview some people from that show?
We want to interview every actor that Doug has worked with from every film.
Fair enough. I talked to Doug about
all the big studio films. We've reached out to all his co-stars and directors.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So you can make up in your mind who that is without me even having to say it out loud. So,
yeah. I talk to Doug about this all the time. I love Matt Berry ever since I saw him in the IT Crowd.
Oh, he's great. I love Matt Berry. He's amazing.
Yeah, and so I love that Doug says he's just as witty and sarcastic and fun as himself as he is on camera.
He's someone I'd like to meet in person someday. Who knows? I think he's just What We Do in the Shadows. I just loved his performances, and there's a lot of stuff he made me laugh, and I can think about it and laugh about it without even watching it again, which is great.
Yeah, I'm being very, I know this is the last season, so I'm being very picky with how often I watch it, because I want to savor it. I don't want it to end, because it's such a fantastic.
I'm the same way. I haven't even watched, because I don't want it to end, so I'm just waiting. This on Christmas break, I'll end up watching the whole thing, and it'll be done. But And when we talk about it to people, I say, I haven't watched it yet, so don't do any spoilers, because I want to see it all. But it's one of those bittersweet things where it's like, oh, as long as I don't watch it, it won't be done. But I know it's done. So
that's exactly.
I'm gonna have to get on the bandwagon here and
I think I still have like the final episode of Mrs. Maisel, because at one point I wasn't ready for that to be over, and then I just kind of forgot about it. And then every time I'm in my prime, I'm like, oh yeah, I think I have like one more episode of that to watch. Yeah. But I'm the same way with What We Do. And it was so funny because I said that to Doug, and Doug's like, well, I'm in episode, I think he said 3. He's in like 3 episodes.
Yeah, he's in 3 episodes, and I know 3 was one of them because he kept talking about the night that it was premiering. I think it's 3, 5, and 9. But I'm not 100% sure. But I already saw
him in 3.
Yeah.
So I knew he was in. I know he was in 3. But like I said, I always look forward to his performances as the Baron.
Yeah. No, he's a riot. He's a riot. And everyone on that set loves him. I mean, they just, and the best part is Doug got to perform in makeup and without makeup. So that was a pleasure for him, because he likes being able to have his face be seen, and it's not as gruesome to be in the makeup chair for 4 hours. So
yeah, just getting a wig put on is probably like a walk in the park to him compared to everything else that he's had to go through.
Exactly.
So he went.
We got to go to the set of Discovery on his last day of filming for the documentary, and I watched him put on his last makeup appliance for the series, and we got to film it. And I'm in the room going, I don't know how he does it, because it's just
Right.
You have a lot of patience, and plus he was being on for us, like, so he was talking because he's like, normally I could fall asleep in the chair, but for us he wasn't. He was talking,
Right.
because he wanted us to have stuff for the documentary. But then there are a few points where we're like, Doug, if you need to doze off, please ignore us.
Yeah, exactly.
We were talking to the makeup people, and then but it's incredible what they do, and he's got a lot of resilience to sit there. So
what I want to know is about the feet, how they did Saru's.
well, it's high heel shoes without the high heel. But the where his foot, the part, a high heel is like this, right? You've got the heel,
Yep.
you put your foot in like this. Well, all they did was cut it. So he's basically balancing on the heel, on his balls of his toes, and it's not easy. It's a lot of workout, basically.
Ballerina. I used to dance. Ballerinas had problems. Like, you couldn't stay. That's like basically being on point. And ballerinas couldn't do that for long periods of time. So
he's balancing himself, and it's you can't put your foot down. There's nothing there. So you just So part of the pleasures of bringing characters to life for all of our us fans out there, and we don't look at sometimes what these actors go through in order to pull that off, and it's not CGI. So
right. And the other thing I want to talk about, I mean, I think we talked about this the last time, but I definitely have new viewers. So, you are a manager that brings these actors to these shows. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a lot. I think, if you wanted to, talk about like the process of like getting people to shows and all the fun stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, Mike, I'm a manager in Hollywood, but we specialize in appearance management. So in the autograph world. So basically we have relationships with, hold on, my phone is recording me for some reason. We have relationship with promoters all around the world, and some of them either reach out to us blindly or we reach out to them blindly, and then we say, well, here's our roster. Who would you like to have? And then we negotiate a contract for them to go, and if the promoter accepts the deal, then the actor goes. So, it's a lot of work. I mean, it's not like you just pick up a phone and like, oh, you want such and such? Yep, let's take them, because there's like 2,000 celebrities vying for 30 spots at any given show at any time of year.
Right.
And, so you got to pitch, new people that, may not be well known yet, or then you try to negotiate a fair deal for the well-known people that everybody wants. And it's fine-tuned. And some of it has to do with, where does the actor want to go? Like, some actors are like, I have no interest in going to such and such a city ever. I don't care how much they pay me. I just don't want to go.
Right.
And others are like, oh, well, I've got family there, or I've never been to this place. So yeah, let's do a convention there. And then we can spend a couple of extra days and go sightseeing. I mean, everybody's different.
Right.
So we try to make it as comfortable for the actor as possible, and make the deals fair, and so that we can get the celebrities in face to face with their fans. I mean, at the end of the day, if it wasn't for the fans, they wouldn't have a career at all. So, the celebrities that do conventions, I think, understand that, and this is like their way to give back, which I think is really, really good. And conventions have changed over the years. I mean, they've been in existence for 50 years. And over the years, it used to be for has-beens or never-weres. And now it's, London, what are you doing? My dog is like bored. Now it's there he goes. He's going to go lay down.
Oh, he is so cute. Hi, London.
Oh, hold on. What's the matter? Lay down.
You guys all missed Vader. He was hanging out with me. Derek got to see him, and then he disappeared.
My poor dog. My dog is a 2-time cancer survivor, 17 years old. And he's
that's amazing.
Dementia. So anyway, he's off into the other room now. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying about celebrities. So
I don't know if you want to answer this, because I know it's a very personal thing, but Robert would like to know what the average fee for a celebrity is.
More than $2.
There we go. It varies. I mean, I do a little bit of booking too. It varies. It depends on a few factors.
Yeah.
Casbar says London is adorable.
Oh, thank you. I would lift him up the next time he comes into the room. So we'll see if he comes back. I don't know.
Yeah, he got an all pooch from Dave.
So. Oh, thank you.
Yes, I've got a very animal friendly crowd.
Oh, good. He's my baby.
Yeah, he's
my baby.
I'm actually thinking about adopting a dog. I had one and he passed away, and I'm at the point now where I think I'm ready for another one.
Yeah, you got to take your time because they're like family, so you don't want to replace.
Yes, exactly.
Member, you've got to be ready for them, and they're a lot of work. I mean, we treat our dog like a human. So he used to go on the road with us all the time, and there was actually a point where some of our clients were saying, "You should just have your dog sign autographs because they're more famous than I am." Sometimes people would come to the celebrity table because they would see me there or my husband, and then they would come up, and the celebrity would be like, "Hi, nice to meet you," and they're like, Yeah, nice to see you. Is Derek's dog behind the table?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, dear God. So, because he would come and he would sit behind the table. And then sometimes Doug is a perfect example. Doug loves him. Doug would actually pick him up and put him in his lap and sign autographs. And people thought it was Doug's dog. And he goes, "Oh, no, it's my manager's dog." Doug just loved having him. And our dog is a very good dog. He loves everybody. But there are a few people that he took very kindly to. And Doug happens to be one of them. So like if Doug's like ever here at my house, he'll sit in Doug's lap, but I'll have someone else come and London wouldn't give them the time of day. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's funny. My mom's best friend had a dog that liked my mom more because every time my mom was over, she'd sit in my mom's lap.
Yeah.
So yeah,
there's just something about certain people. Like, dogs are very intuitive of
yes,
who we are and deep down inside. So I think they cling to the good people.
They do. And, the one thing when I took my dog to training, the one thing that I think a lot of people forget is that they're animals with their own personalities, and they're going to like who they like, and they're not going to they're not going to love everybody. They're not going to love every dog they meet. They're not going to love every person they meet because they're individuals, and people forget that, I think.
Yeah,
exactly. It's the same thing with cats. I mean, animals are individuals, just because they're housebroken doesn't mean that they're predisposed to love on everybody. Just depends on the animal. But Christina Chong had her dog in Jersey. I got to meet her. I asked permission, always something everybody needs to remember.
Always ask permission.
Because 9 times out of 10, if a celebrity has a dog with them, chances are it's for some sort of emotional support.
Yeah. Well, even
not
in general, you should always ask a dog owner for permission to say hi to their dog, because some dogs can be aggressive and you don't know it, and if the owner isn't paying attention and say, "Please don't pet my dog," not every dog is friendly, or not every dog is wanting to meet. They have good days and bad days,
Yeah, exactly.
Our dog happens to be very, very, very good. He's never snapped at anybody or anything like that. But if someone was to ask us, "Hey, can we say hi to your dog?" and we'll say, yeah, he's fine. If he's in a bad mood or doesn't, he'll literally he'll look at the person as you go to put you
introduce yourself. Yeah.
He'll literally just go like this.
Oh, that's so funny.
And that just means I'm not into you right now, and you can just step away. And then so we would know, he doesn't have any interest. So if you don't mind, just step away from him, because then you don't want to bother him. But that's when he would do. He'd just turn his nose at people, like, right. No interest.
Yeah, exactly. Christina's dog was really cute. But if you ever see anybody with a dog, especially at a convention where there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Anytime, you're right. Anytime you see an animal, you should always ask, but especially at conventions, because there's so much stimulus
going on and they're freaking out. Michael Rooker scared my dog so badly. Doug was sitting at a table next to him, and Michael jumped up on his desk and started screaming at his fans. And my dog was next to us, and Starley peed himself right there. It was we didn't understand oh my God. Because he was being loud and excited, and the dog wasn't expecting it. I felt horrible. So I had to take him for a walk, and he was fine afterwards. It was fine.
Yeah, but definitely keep that in mind. But it's becoming more of a norm to see a pet or two at the conventions. So everybody should keep that in mind. I like this. What does Dave has to say? Dave saying some dogs don't like to be Some dogs don't like to be petted and certain. Have been hit, so petting on the top of the head can be aggressive. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. And that's the thing. I'm going to rescue a dog. If I get another dog, it's going to be from a rescue. So,
And That's good. They need it. Our mayor here in LA is talking about doing like a mass euthanization to lighten the load in some of the
Are you serious?
in the pounds in the what do you call them, rescue centers, because there's so many. I mean, there's people that don't spay or neuter their dogs, and
Right.
it's
No,
just
see, you
horrible.
need to I got Vader, the shelter that my sister usually adopts from. They were having an adoption event to clear out the shelters, $7 adoption fees across the board.
Yeah. Well,
I
that's
got
how they started this week. What they did was they do free. So there's no
yeah.
the only thing you pay for is some city or some what do you call it, suburbs in Los Angeles require the license fee to be paid, but all of the shelters were doing no fees, free vaccinations, free spay or neutering if
Mhm.
you adopted like during Thanksgiving week, which is really cool. But then this week they're turning around and going, well, in a week or two, we're going to think about killing the ones that didn't get adopted. It's like, oh,
No, they just need to keep them free. Oh my gosh,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
No, I have friends in LA. I should just start looking and seeing if I can get somebody to adopt a dog for me in LA.
You could do it. Absolutely. There's plenty.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I will thank you for saying that. Who knew this was going to turn into an animal discussion? That's awesome. That is so awesome. But okay, so it's are you guys do you have somebody going to Trek Long Island this year? Am I going to see you at
Yep,
Trek
we
Long
do.
Island?
Yeah, I don't know if they've announced them yet. I think we have 2 people going. Let me see if they've announced them yet.
Oh, okay, great.
Give me a second, because I can't announce it if they.
Right. Oh God, Stephanie would kill us both.
But let me see who I have. Celebrity guests. No. I'm on their website.
Yeah.
So much more coming soon. No. Oh, they have a lot of people that are missing, because she told me some names of people that are coming that aren't listed here either. So
Yeah.
not yet, but I've got
we'll see
2
you there.
that are
Okay.
contracted, and I'm definitely the one that's going, so I'll be there for sure.
Oh, that's great. We had a lot of fun last year. I love that convention.
Yeah, it's a great show.
I got you
wish
to
her all the best with it. I hope that she can really, really, really make it.
Yeah.
grow.
Yeah, I'm going to be there. I'm with John Billingsley and Bonnie Frederici. So that's
cool.
So that's who I'm going to be with this year, and I'm really looking forward to it. But you introduced me to Janet Kidder this past one, and I was so grateful to that, because I'm a huge fan of her aunt Margot and Christopher Reeve, and she was so generous talking to me about them. So
yeah, Janet's great. The first time I met Janet, I cried because she reminded me so much of Margot. Margot was one of this. So one of the perks, I guess you could say, about my job is that certain clients become more than clients, and so Margot was one of those people. Margot was like family,
right?
And so losing her really was hard. And I had never met Janet before. I knew about her because Margot would talk about her, and then when she got Star Trek, Doug told her, it's like, oh, you need to talk to Derek Maki and get on the bandwagon. And then she's like, Derek Maki, I know that name. And it's, yeah, well, Margot used to be presented by him. And she's like, oh my God. So we got together, and it was kismet. It was like we had known each other our whole lives. She's just an amazing human being.
She is. Who else I got to meet Tara.
Oh yeah.
She's great too.
Tara's a sweetheart. I'm hoping that she'll be out more with Doug next year. So
yes, because I told her that their relationship was another gorgeous relationship that I really enjoyed on Discovery.
Yeah.
Their wedding was fantastic. I mean,
yep.
I'm okay with the fact that Discovery ended this past season. I feel like it was a good point to end it. Personal opinion. I know everybody wants everything to go 7 years. I was ready for it. I felt like it was kind of getting to the point where, but the way they ended it was so gorgeous. And Saru's wedding, was just a really great. It was just a well done series finale.
Yeah, they did a good job with it.
And your clients are some of the best parts of it. So.
Oh, thank you. They're good people. We like all the people that are with us. Part of the reason I take them on if they join us is because we have good personality together. I wouldn't take someone on just because. So right. I'll never be rich, because if I don't get along with a high-end celebrity, I won't work with them, because it's not worth it. Life's too short. I got to enjoy what I do.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, you have to have that, because I mean, like I said, like I do teeny tiny little bits of booking here and there, but it's tough. And if you don't have a good relationship with somebody where you can tell them bad news and not, you just need to have a really good relationship with somebody where you know that you're going to vibe with them. And when you have disappointing things to tell them, it's going to be okay.
Yep.
Exactly. Speaking of your roster, we were talking about this before you came on the air. I noticed Harrison Ford is now prominently displayed, and
well, he's been prominently displayed on my website for a while, but most people don't realize that he's a client because he doesn't do conventions. We represent the autograph side of things, so but everything he does is private and in his office. He doesn't go out and make personal appearances, and the few appearances that he made at Celebration were through Lucasfilm. But I mean, any Star Wars fan would know he didn't sign autographs while he was there because it's not something that he does. But yeah, I've been working with Harrison 17 years, I think. It's been
so if one wanted a Han Solo autograph, how does that work?
Well, they usually sell out pretty quick. We have them on our website. I might have one left on the website, I'm not sure, but when we have private signings with him, we announce it, and you can either mail stuff in, or you can order images or posters or stuff from us, or from the host companies that we work with that offer it. And he'll have another one coming up, I hope, in the first quarter of 2025. We don't have a date set yet because he's been so busy filming and post-production on the new Marvel movie, and plus he does shrinking, and he does that, what is it, 1492, the one.
Oh, yeah, the yellow.
Yeah. So he's been incredibly busy. But yeah, I mean, obviously there's a fee. There's nothing.
Right. Nothing is free anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, he's got more coming up. We just haven't been able to announce it yet. But
okay, so it's not like, because Lasso is like the king of this, where you can just like he'll figure out a way to like reach out to someone's manager or whatever to get signatures. Like there are some people that's just like, yeah, ask me, send me something, and I'll sign, pay a fee, and I'll sign it.
Oh no,
it all has to be okay.
No, everything is done through. When we do these, it's all done through the sales system. I mean, someone of his caliber,
sure,
it's impossible for them to answer fan mail. Of course. It's not possible. So
yeah, he wouldn't be working
on the street if you see him. Although last time I didn't get to see it, but I heard there's this video out there of him just going off on some fans because they were upsetting him, because some of the fans are very, very rude. And but because they're not fans, they're autograph dealers. These guys that go to airports or red carpet events and just get them to sign a bunch of stuff so they can hawk it on eBay. It's horrible. So they're not real fans. A fan is someone who meets, you meet at a restaurant and you grab a napkin and go, would you sign this napkin or take a selfie with me? But when you're waiting at an airport or a red carpet event with a stack of photos and a roll of posters, those are not fans. Those are just people trying to make a quick buck.
They're basically stalkers waiting to pounce.
Basically. So I find them disturbing.
Well, yeah. I mean, like you said, he's a working actor. He's busy. He's got a family. He's got a life, and his choice is to do. This is how he does his autographs.
Right.
And it's you have to respect every actor. Like you said, it's giving back to the fans, but not every actor wants to do it. They have their personal reasons. And what I preach a lot on the show, especially when I'm talking about conventions, is respect.
Yeah.
And respecting the actors, even when they're at a convention, don't jump in front of them when they're trying to walk, because they're probably either hungry and need to pee or on their way to a panel.
Right. Exactly.
If they're walking, it's because they're going somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just be, and to be respectful. And if you meet them on the street and you say hi and they acknowledge you, be happy.
Right.
You don't need to chase them down and say, wait, I need to go find a scrap of paper.
We've been chased in airports when we travel with some of our celebrity talent, and it can be scary sometimes. I mean, it's so hard to explain to people because it's such a surreal experience to have.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I first started in this business, I remember going out with Billy D. Williams, and we literally were running through an airport because a TSA agent of all people, started screaming at the top of her lungs, "Oh my God, it's Billy D. Williams!" And then everybody started following us. and we were running, and there were all these doors along the corridor in the airport, and I was trying every single door, and one of them opened, and I just grabbed him and threw him in. And when we got there, we shut the door, and people are banging on the door, and there's a desk with some guy behind it, and he's like, "Can I help you?" And I'm like, "Well, can you call security, but like airport security, not TSA, because we're being chased. This is, you know." And then he realized who was in the room, and he's like, "Well, this is the child daycare for like airport employees." And I'm like, "That's great. We're just gonna stay here until someone comes to get us."
We need a little daycare right now.
Yeah, it was scary to be
But
put in.
yeah, I don't mean to.
Like
Yeah,
that. I mean, you're not, you know, you don't realize it, and the thing is, there was no need of it, because I mean, especially someone like Billy, he's very gracious. He'll stop and talk to people and shake hands, but you just, you know, it's scary. You don't know people, you know, and so we didn't know what to expect. And then when you start running, and then you've got 20 people following you, that's a little overwhelming. So
yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I remember I used to do background work in New York, and I was working on the set of Jessica Jones, and they didn't shut the street down. It was like it was like an overnight shoot. They didn't shut the street down. So it's like 2, 3 in the morning. And I happened to be standing on a corner waiting, you know, and Jessica Jones was behind me. She was going to walk past me to go do whatever. Or no, she was actually taking a break, I think. She had stepped away just to kind of, and some people came out and realized who she was. She is literally working. We are on a set. It's hard to miss that there's a set. And they're like, "Oh,
right.
Can we take a selfie with you?" Blah, blah, blah. And I watched her because there was nobody around to protect her. She had just stepped away. But she did it because what's the alternative to have somebody say, "I ran into Jessica Jones in New York and she's terrible."
Right.
So sometimes you're just put in these really awkward positions where if you don't do what's being asked, then you're going to get labeled and it's going to go viral. So,
Yep.
You know, hi, Signature King. Glad to see you here. Thanks for joining us. New face. I love new faces. But so I get it. I mean, luckily it was only a couple people that happened to live across the street, but you know, that was lucky that it was a small incident. But yeah, again, just, you know, she was working literally.
Yep.
And it's the same thing at conventions. They're there to give back, but they're also working.
Right.
So, you know, again,
There's personal space for a reason. You know, we have, if you're going to call a celebrity's hotel room while you're at a convention, this is why a lot of times now celebrities don't stay at the same hotels as the fans, or we use pseudonyms.
Yeah.
And the celebrities don't stay under, you know, their own names. And again, I've had that experience myself as well. And it's scary because when you get woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning by someone going, "Is so-and-so in the room with you? Can I speak to them?" And you're like, whoa. And, you know, if the front desk is putting someone through on the phone, you know, how much more do you have to grease the front desk's palms before they would give you a room number, you know? So it's a scary experience.
I found, I think today, I think hotels are a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? Protective of their guests' information. I feel like just from some of the things that I've done when I've talked to front desks, but you never know. You're right. All it takes is one overnight person that's, you know, bored, tired. Somebody slides them a 50 across the thing.
Yeah. Oh, $50 and you sell your soul. That's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
I actually, I had a story, but to just to prove the extent that fans go to, I used to work this check cashing job a million years ago, and I was friendly with one of the regulars, and her daughter was in love with Evan Peters from American Horror Story. And
good actor. I like him a lot.
He's fantastic. I first saw him in the American Horror Stories. He's great. Yeah. So she was in love with them, and she knew I was a convention person. So she's like, "My daughter really loves Evan Peters. He's going to be at Rhode Island Comic Con. Do you have any advice?" And I said, honestly, yeah, do not ever go to a convention for one actor because they can cancel. I said, she's more than welcome to go, but just let her know that if Evan gets a job or something comes up, he could cancel at the last minute and she's not getting her money back. You never go to a convention for one actor. Come to find out that because I guess Evan owns a house and it costs what, $15 if you know somebody's age and name to get an address.
Yeah.
This girl and her friend went out to LA posed as DoorDash drivers and walked up pretending they got the wrong address. And he was very nice up until the point where they said, "Can we have a selfie?" And then he's like, "No," and shut the door. And they're lucky that that's all that happened.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, and the mom was just like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "And you're proud of her for this?" This is
Yeah. You're encouraging your daughter the wrong way, but to each his own, I guess.
Yeah, I guess, but it's just I know of other incidents where fans have gotten the addresses of actors. Simply, all you really need to know is somebody's age, where they live, and their legal name.
Yeah.
And it's not that difficult.
It's not okay. You have to put yourself in their position. How would you like it if someone came up to your house? You know, how we all have cameras at our houses now, right? And if you go on the internet and you see people like, oh, an Amazon package just got stolen off my front porch, you know, you're violated, right?
Right.
So we all know what it's like, you know, or your neighbor's dog goes missing, or you know, but everything's on these cameras.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, in the bigger cities like where we live in LA, like, you know, you run into, and I'm not saying homeless people are bad. There's actually a couple of homeless people near my house. London a few years ago ran away, and they were all helping me look for him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying anybody's bad, but what I'm saying is it's scary when you don't know someone. And so if you infringe on someone's personal space and property and they don't know you, you don't know what to expect or how to act. And so, you know, put yourself in their shoes. How would you like it if someone came to your front door that wasn't the pizza man, you know, and, you know, just because they wanted to come into your house or see you or whatever? It's you got to think how it would make you feel. And it can be scary. So why would you put someone like a celebrity in that position as well? You know, this is someone that you're supposed to love and admire, and you shouldn't be wanting to scare them.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah, you know, there's a time and place for everything. And I think that's what's so great about the conventions, you know, is it gives you that time and space.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, I mean, they're there to give back, and a lot. I mean, the stories that you know that these celebrities have. Just ask the right questions. I always tell people find different questions to
Yeah.
ask.
Yeah. That's
Because
why when I host, like I always host Billy D's panels, and I come out before he comes out and I explain to everybody how long I've been with him and how I've heard everything before, and that it's not that we don't all want to know certain questions, but you know, for those of you who can come up with something interesting that I've never heard before, we have like this special pin that's been made. It's exclusive for us. And we give those pins away. I usually give away 3 or 4 during a panel.
Yep.
And those pins are like the official, you know, Billy D approved fan. And
New fan card, yeah.
Later asking to buy them, and it's like, no, we don't sell them. You get them for asking an interesting question that we've never heard, you know, or something that, you know, makes it different. And then it makes people put their thinking caps on, which is really great. And, you know, that was another reason why I created my game show. And I explain that when I do the game show at conventions, because it's like, you know, when you've heard it all before, I look at it 2 ways. 1, I'm bored, but 2, I want fans to know other things about the client other than the same old questions. So if I can come up with a fun way of getting those answers. So that's why I do this game show. It's a Cool Water Celebrity Game Show. And I've done it at 2 of Creation's events. I'm supposed to be doing it at the San Francisco event, which I'm excited about.
Oh, great.
And we have 4 celebrities play along, and we do trivia and Pictionary, but it's all based on the client's careers, and you learn about them in a fun way.
Oh,
and I have a lot of people that'll come up to me after and just say, this was so much fun, so much better than a normal panel. You know, what was it like to work with so-and-so? Was it hot? You know, it's like, it's the same things you get asked all the time. It's like,
how long have you been in how long do you sit in makeup?
Right. You know, so it's I like it when fans are enthusiastic and will ask the different questions. And again, not intrusive questions either. You don't want to be, you know, too nosy or insulting, but you can be fun with it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I like when I was at Brent Spiner, you know, I was giving out mints. That's my thing now. Everybody gets peppermints whenever I'm at a convention.
Right.
I get Dougie hugs for my peppermints. I will continue to feed Doug peppermints. But I was giving Brent his peppermints, Brent Spiner, and we were talking about Night Court, and it turns out he's going to be on another episode this season. And and I said something about, I likened, to me, John Larroquette is very much a modern day Dick Van Dyke when it comes to physical comedy.
Yeah.
If you watch Larroquette on the original Night Court and the physicality of the comedy is very similar. They're both lanky, very flexible, however you want to look at it. And Brent politely disagreed because Larroquette doesn't sing and dance. I said, yeah, but they're which led to these amazing Dick Van Dyke stories because Brent Spiner knows Dick Van Dyke. It's like, this works because I love Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke was awesome.
Yeah, still is. He's going to be 99.
Wow, really?
Really? He lives out in Malibu. He's going to be 99. They just for Thanksgiving, I think it's still on Disney Plus. They did The Untold Story of Mary Poppins. And
I have to check it out.
And they interviewed. They did current interviews. Yeah, he's going to be 99 this month, I think.
That's incredible.
But yeah, well, the one thing I learned is that the same people that wrote all the music, the brothers that wrote the music for Mary Poppins also wrote the music for Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And I love Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Okay, so Chris has a question. He wants to know if you were John Delancey's handler at Trek Dallas.
Yeah, I'm not a handler, Chris. I'm an actual manager. And my employees that work for me would be considered handlers. And John Delancey is not a client of mine. So you'll never see me or one of my employees at a convention handling someone else. We only represent and manage the actors that we actually manage, that we have deals with. So just want to make sure that the terminology is different, because some actors will go to a convention and have a handler with them that's just someone that's helping them. And that's not what we are. We're a full service management company that, you know, from the time they get on the airplane to the hotel to whatever, we do everything for them. It's a full service company that we do. So I love John Delancey. You know, I wish he was my client, but I think he's got his own people. But yeah, so if you ever see me, it's because I'm handling or managing a client of my own. And all you guys can all see who my clients are. It's public knowledge. It's on my website, coolwatersproductions.com. I'm sure Stephanie can put that in somewhere for you all.
Absolutely.
So you can see everybody that we represent for appearances all around the world. And I mean, while I've got you for 2 seconds, right, we've got an online store as well. So if you guys can never get to a convention, we have autographs from the majority of people that we represent that are available for sale on the website. And they all come with certificates of authenticity from our company, which is important because I always tell people, look, if you didn't see the celebrity sign it yourself, you don't know. Yep. And it even takes sales out of our own pocket sometimes. But I've been in the business for 27 years and I've seen people get taken advantage of. So I'm always trying to educate people.
Absolutely.
In that. But yeah, so you can check out my website. And
were you guys Delancey adjacent in Dallas?
Dallas was, where were we in Dallas? I think he was, now I don't remember which show Dallas was. That was the last one we were in that smaller hall. No, he was down at the end of the row. So we had our own row. I think Bonnie was next to us. And then John was against the back wall with Brent. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Chris said he looked up your site and
I like the convention. So well, I appreciate that. Thank you. It's very humbling. And sometimes I have to take a step back and look at my own website and go, wow, you know, because I came from a very small town in Massachusetts. I moved to Hollywood to be rich and famous myself. And this was just kind of a side step that happened. And, you know, it's a good path and I'm happy about it. And sometimes my jaw hits the floor as well. It's like, wow, these are people that I'm, you know, in business with, for lack of better terms.
I got to go back to something Signature King said. I miss the original Night Court as well. Catchy Comedy has it. If you guys get Catchy Comedy runs Night Court usually.
What is that? Is that a TV station?
Yeah, it's a TV station. Catchy Comedy. Yeah, I have Philo, which is great. Streaming service, and yeah, it's one of the channels. It's one of the cable. showing my age. It's a cable channel. It's one of their channels. It's all comedy. They have a great lineup. And
oh yeah, we have something similar to that here in LA called Me TV, and
we've got Me TV too.
They run all like Gilligan's Island and
MASH.
Leave It to Beaver, MASH, all Mama's Family, which I love. So yeah.
There's actually 3 Me TVs now. There's Me TV, Me TV 2, and Me TV Tunes. So
so they run like all the Looney Tunes and stuff.
They run Rocky and Bullwinkle and Underdog and Speed Racer and Marine Boy. Those are my tops that they run.
Oh my god, I love Underdog. That's awesome.
They run Underdog a lot. If you've got Me TV, you probably have Me TV too. So you'll have to check that out.
I'll have to check it out.
But Speed Racer's on at like 1 a.m. But yeah, and they do like the Flintstones and Wacky Races. I don't know if you remember Wacky Races.
Yep.
Yeah,
and Collector's Corner. So I'm seeing someone saying something.
Yep, Lasso mentioned Collector's Corner on Me TV. Lasso's the one that got me into Collector's Corner. He's the one that told me about it. And the guy, there was a guy a couple years ago who came. I think it was when we were at Bally's. Were you at the STLV in Bally's?
Yes.
Okay. The guy who was on Collector's Corner for Star Trek, who had like the biggest TOS collection, was there.
Yes.
And I'm like, I saw you on TV. It was so cool. I was all excited. I was all excited to see him because I'm like, I knew you weren't going to take that trade. I don't know if you watched his episode. Derek?
I did. And I remember meeting him and and the guy was like trading a TNG to a TOS guy. I knew he wasn't going to take the TNG uniform. He was too TOS involved. That's awesome.
Doug was on one side of Bonnie and Elias. How does Elias? I need to know this because I still need to hit Elias up because I really want him on the show. Well, how does he pronounce his last name? Tefexis.
Yeah.
That could be a character. That could be a Trek character.
It could be, yeah.
Could be like Nilix's cousin.
It's a Greek name. He's got Greek ties.
Name.
Yeah, and he's a really nice guy. Well, you and I'll have to talk about having a guest star on in 2025. I guess
I would love to have him.
As long as I get my free advertising, I'm fine with it.
Always get your free advertising. I promise. Yeah, but he came up with that I have to put compliments. Remember, he had.
Yes, I know, because I was like, after you walked away, I'm like, what did you just explain to her? And then when he said it to me, I'm like, oh, that makes total sense.
Doesn't it? He told that to me. We were chatting at the bar at the Hollywood Hotness or Halloween Hotness.
Yeah.
He and I were chatting at the bar, and I said, I don't know if you remember me. I gave you mints in Vegas. And then that started the whole thing, and that's when he originally came up with the compliments. And I promised him. I bought those stickers. I have to use those stickers up, and after I'm done,
you gotta use them up. So maybe a year from now.
I was smart. I didn't
just start giving them out to fans as well, and then
just to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But I do get out mints to fans. They just don't get them in the pretty bags. They have to take.
Oh, okay. Well,
they're on my table in a NX 7062 coffee mug, and fans are holding them up. But only the people I'm trying to impress get the ones that say compliments at the end of 706. Because you get it, it's marketing.
It is marketing.
It's marketing. And
Elias was such a nice person. He came in to chat with us in the VIP room. Oh, was that in Dallas?
Yeah, that was Chris's second convention.
Oh, and we left. Chris, you were in that room when I made Elias sit there longer because we had to leave and come back because they moved the room and didn't tell us.
Oh, geez.
So I made Elias sit in the room for I think 20 minutes rather than 10. So I hope you guys felt that was worth it. I'm always trying to make sure the fans, are getting treated right. So.
Aw. Yeah, no, Elias. Oh, there you go. Chris said yes.
Cool.
Elias is great. He's and I so bad with names. His character was fantastic.
Lack. L''AK.
Yeah, and the girlfriend was
Eve. Oh no, that's the actress's name.
Yeah. I was just thinking about this before. I should have looked it up.
I'm blanking. Don't put me on the spot with trivia because
sorry. Well, no, it's like they were set up to be the bad guys. But
yeah, then so what Elias tells me is we weren't the bad guys, we're the protagonists because
yes,
they have an arc.
they do. They have an arc and they're sympathetic.
Yeah, exactly.
They're sympathetic, and but it's so hard. I find it to be an incredible talent to be able to play that protagonist on that edge of everything where yes, they are doing bad things, but you have sympathy for them because you understand that arc and you understand where they're coming from. Maul, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris. But the two of them together really walked that line and did it so beautifully.
Yeah.
It was such a fantastic performance. So yeah, I just but and I told this to Elias. We all know him as Lack, but I want him on here because we're going to talk about Elias. We're not just going to talk about.
Yeah, you should, because he's an interesting guy. So we'll
is.
talk about that, and it gives your listeners something to look forward to. And
yeah, absolutely. I'm working on some fantastic interviews. I was hoping to have some a little earlier, but I will take them all in 2025 because I've got some
way to start your new year. That's how you have to.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. And I would, you've got an amazing roster, and any of them are more than welcome to come on the show at any time to talk about anything.
Thank you.
Hint, hint, hint.
Hint, hint.
Hint, hint. Janet needs to come on. No, I do. I love Janet. Janet's great. And she does horror too, which is fun. She likes horror. We had fun talking about horror movies too. So
horror is fantastic.
Horror is fantastic.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, I asked Dominic Keating once. He was in a really, 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 really bad horror movie.
What movie?
It's called Hollywood Kills. He's great. The movie's terrible. He just does evil really well. He does bad guys really well. But I asked him because there were some scenes where he shoved a champagne bottle down a guy's throat and all this stuff. I'm like, is that fun? Because you're doing things that you can't do.
You can't do in real life. Yeah, it's
in real life. Or is it
bad guys that was when I was little and said, oh, if I ever go to Hollywood, that was my thing. It was either being the comic relief or being the ultimate bad guy, because the comic relief is more how I would be on a daily basis. So if someone comes to the game show at a convention, you'll see I'm a big ham, very sarcastic. I'm not being at all like that now because I'm trying to be professional in a nice interview. But then being the bad guy, with the evil laugh, the evil maniacal laugh would be cool. Or just someone who's got that button and you click and it's opposite of who you are, and it's easier to play that. So,
but he actually said, but the problem is when you do stuff like that, it's too technical to really enjoy it. What you have to do, the technicality of shoving a broken champagne bottle.
Hey.
But he does do evil really well, and he did get to beat a hooker up with a poker. It's a bad movie. It's a bad movie.
Well, I won't take time out of my life to see it then.
No, because you have to buy it.
In my Netflix and Hulu queues as it is, so forget it.
It's on Amazon Prime, and you actually have to purchase it. So yeah, no, it's just I like watching it. It's one of those things that I watch it now just to laugh at it. But like I said, I just enjoy his performance, and since we became friendly, I found it, I watched it. I'm like, this is really bad, but he's really good. And I actually met Zach Ward, who was in it as well. But most people know Zach Ward from Christmas Story, which I have never seen.
Oh, it's so good.
I know.
Well, it's actually, let me rephrase that, because I know a lot of people that don't like it. You have to have a liking for it and that type of story. Right. I love it. I grew up with it. It's funny to me, but I understand some people looking and go, God, this is just so horrible. But it's all to what our liking. Right. The same thing with Christmas Vacation. It's one of my favorites. I can't wait to watch it this year. I looked forward to it every year. You recite it time and again, but some people watch it and they're like, this is so dumb. See, and that's the thing. Half the stuff in the movie, and it's no, that's not the point.
Yeah, I mean, I watch Hollywood Kills every Halloween just because. But I mentioned it to Zach Ward. I said, I know everybody knows you from A Christmas Story. I said, I know you from Hollywood Kills. And he looks at me, he goes, hi, David. Okay, maybe not. What is this? All right.
What is David Hayter doing?
I don't know, but I do have a moderator out there that may need to take care of that for me. So, yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, but I told, and Zach's like, Zach was he looked at me. He's like, "Didn't I rape somebody in that movie?" I'm like, "That's all you remember from it?" I'm like, "Yeah, but she killed you, so she got even." He's like, "All right." But that's like, he barely remembered it. But it was just funny to say that to him because, like you said, you always want to find something interesting. I'm like, "I've never seen A Christmas Story," and he's like, "Oh, well, it'll just make it that much better when you watch it." And I just smiled. I smiled.
You should give it a go this year. Why
I've
not?
because I've decided, literally, I want to be one of the only people on the planet to have
That
never
hasn't seen
seen
it. You're
Yeah.
going to join like the four people who have never seen Star Wars.
Yes, except for me, it's going to be A Christmas Story. Exactly.
I love it.
That's my goal. I've decided because it's gotten to the point where why not, right? Because I just never watch, and I do know people that will turn on TNT and just let it run for those 24 hours.
Oh, sure.
So I'm like you said,
you have it on in the background.
Yep. So does anybody have any more questions for Derek before I release him into the wild to go check on London?
Well, he hasn't been back, so he's probably passed out, but that's fine.
This is General Zod. Come to say hi. He does like to come say hi. And trust me, he acts like it too. He can be mean. He can be really mean. Except to me.
Wonderful.
He's wonderful. But I'm the one that named him General Zod, so he had something to live up to, which was the problem. And he's orange. So, everybody says orange cats are always mischievous ones. And then I turn around and name him General Zod. I was just asking for it.
I love it.
But, all right. So, guys, next week is next week. I will see you when I see you. And I guess you're just going to have to wait and find out what the topic is before I take my break for the holidays. And then that cat is not the general that saves you money on car insurance. No, Lasso, we covered that last week. He's not the general that saves you money.
Well, I appreciate you having me on, Stephanie. Thank you so much.
Of course. Oh, wait, before we go.
Yeah.
I promised we could tease this.
Oh God.
You're gonna have a new you're
Oh right. Yeah. We have a new client from the Star Trek universe who we have not officially announced yet. Some promoters know who it is already, and we're trying to negotiate some deals, but it is a new Star Trek person, and it is a person who has never done conventions before either. So and this person has other franchises under their belt, but it is a new Star Trek person. So for the Star Trek fans out there, it'll be good because it is fresh meat, which is fantastic. So I just can't say on a broad scale yet who it is, because I'm waiting for one more thing from this person in order to do that.
And he's never done conventions ever.
Nope, never.
Oh, well then it's not Chris Pine. Sorry, Lasso. Lasso loves Chris Pine from his work on Wonder Woman, and
oh yeah.
See?
It's not. Yeah, it's not Chris Pine. No. I can confirm it's not Chris Pine. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, it's just you said because you mentioned other franchises. So, but then you also said never did conventions before, and Chris did a handful.
Yeah. No, sorry. Hopefully you guys will find the person exciting, and we'll see. If the deals work out right, they'll be on the road in 2025. So Creation and I have already talked about this person and a couple of other, like Motor City Comic Con and a couple of others. So we'll see.
And you'll be announcing it on the website. Do you announce these?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Once he'll be in the top row of the website because he's a bigger name, so he won't get buried. Plus he's new, so we'll put him in the top row, and I'm hoping to have it up before the end of the year, or before Christmas, actually, because we've just been waiting. He's been filming something, and so there's some stuff that we're waiting on. We build a page on our website that has their official photos and biographies and all of this. So we have to put all that together, and so as soon as all that is done, then it'll be announced officially. But yes, so anyway, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see all the fans on the road down the line.
Absolutely. And Giving Tuesday starts, well, for me, it starts in about an hour. So don't forget to keep an eye out because for the Doug Hug shirts. And please, like I said, visit bekindmerch.org and pick up. Now's a perfect time to pick up a Kenneth Mitchell autographed Be Kind shirt as well, because it is Giving Tuesday in an hour for me. So guys, thank you so much for being here. As always, I will catch you next week. And until then, you know what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you to live long and prosper.